must have 100 main channels coursing through the flat countryside, and all of them swarm with boats. The Mekong runs through Vietnam for a distance of more than 125 miles, with this basin area covering over 17,000 square miles. There are many different types of nets and hooks as well as small fishing pens. Every fisherman has his choice and his way of fishing. The flat even plain is home to rice, the primary food staple and the country's most vital cash crop. The fertile soil also supports an array of other fruits and vegetables. Everyone loved the opportunity to be a part of this dynamic view of the canals, the bridges, the boats, and most of all, the people. Hi. These villagers seem genuinely pleased to visit with us, especially the beautiful children. A large part of their productivity is due to hard work, including irrigation by hand and, thankfully, help from the farmer's friend, the water buffalo. In this area, many floating houseboats have fish pens. These are actually large holes in the floor of the building with nets spread out beneath. Used for generations by the Vietnamese, today with scientific techniques, the large aquaculture industry has begun. It is becoming a fish farming cooperative operation on a much larger scale, with much of the product exported.
The factory, we call seafood factory. So we got the big boat, come here and buy this fish, bring back to the factory. So that factory.
Feeding time is quite an event for these fish, called basa fish, a whiskerless catfish.
That cat one. Yeah, the cat. All right, back in the water.
This area of the Mekong Delta is well known for boat builders and dry dock repair, even though this craft might look to be beyond repair. Watch this lady operate her boat. These long-tailed outboards are always started in the air. There's no neutral or reverse, and the prop spins mightily with a jerk of the starter cord. The long-tailed units have some serious advantages over inboard power, especially the ability to steer and to hoist the prop out of the water to clear whatever has fouled it in these shallow waters. The local brick factory is quite a resourceful enterprise. The operation is straightforward in a casual type of assembly line, whether stacking the completed fired bricks or loading and unloading supplies. Inspecting and trimming the wet clay for various size projects goes quickly, with many hands working together. With Vietnam the third largest exporter of rice, the source of fuel for the ovens is plentiful. The outside husks of the rice are placed in huge piles and carted up to the brick ovens as needed. A large basket must weigh somewhere close to 50 pounds. He makes it look easy. These ladies work hard, but they smile a lot and keep a steady chatter going. They readily help one another with the simplest chore. It all makes the day go faster and gets the job done. The boat building trades are very well developed here, and the boats are built to a high standard of fit, if not finish. Almost all carry a bright red bow ornament with a pair of eyes to watch for traffic. The long-tailed outboard is by far the propulsion of choice. The motors are typically a 5-horse generator model. The long propeller shaft and its pipe-sleeved bearing are superbly reliable. The pieces that turn the little air-cooled engine into a long-tailed outboard are locally made. One has brought us to the Saigon market. Saigon is a busy river port with industrial zones as well as booming agricultural trade. With a population of about 100,000, the area is dynamic. Boats of every size are loaded and unloaded, usually by hand, right next to shoppers buying their produce. Every area is maintained in a tidy fashion. Vegetables are trimmed and tended by hand. Some items are familiar, but many less so. The produce is fresh and vibrant with color, with the slightest blemish removed. These ladies pride themselves on their displays. Marketing seems to be a relaxed chore for most shoppers with time to pick and choose. You can buy local specialties from dried foods to fruit and seafood with exceptionally, swimmingly fresh fish. Adjacent to the market area, these ladies are preparing fresh meat and fish items for a restaurant's lunch. Pagodas are always nearby, and just a block away from the market here is a temple built in 1920. The pagoda features beautiful Chinese architecture and carvings. The peaceful setting attracts many visitors who come to light incense and pray. We have been shopping in the outskirts of Ho Chi Minh City, formerly Saigon. It is a sprawling area at Ben Tay Market. The bustle of commerce is evident, and it is a pagoda-style tribute to trade. Everything from soup to nuts can be found here. Although it is primarily a wholesale market, the beginnings of this huge emporium were built in 1926 by a Chinese merchant. Reunification Hall was over time the Notre-Dame Palace, the residence of the French Governor General, and later the South Vietnam President's residence. It was a command center during the Vietnam War. A stairway leads to a display area, and in the basement is a bunker and military operations center used during the Vietnam War. The cabinet meeting room is a step back in time. Nearby Ben Thanh Market is a recognizable landmark of the city. The atmosphere here is high energy as tourists and locals shop or stroll with friends. You can go exploring in this chromed-up, classy taxi. And yes, this is a crosswalk. And no, it really means nothing. We had already learned in Hanoi to just walk deliberately and trust, eyes forward and with determination. The Notre Dame Cathedral was built in the late 1890s and today serves about 1,500. The General Post Office, designed by Gustave Eiffel, is a showpiece. Its interior features carvings of famous philosophers and scientists. Modern skyscrapers join colonial French architecture and bring a wonderful mix to Vietnam's largest city. You'll see all of this and more on an AmaWaterways river cruise.